What's up, guys? Welcome to today's episode. Now, a lot of what's been trending now lately in the fitness industry, or at least the influencer fitness industry, we're not talking about bodybuilding or we're not talking about competitions, but in terms of influencers, apparently Hussein Farhat has lost his natty card.
I lost my natty card.
Turns out it wasn't natural after all. A lot of news lately on YouTube and Instagram has been coming out about Hussein Farhat and that he is actually not a natural bodybuilder. I don't know if you guys have seen the video on YouTube. I don't want to mention the YouTuber himself that has made the video because I don't want to just make him famous. Not that anyone really watches this channel as much, but anyways, so someone has made a YouTube video about Hussein, breaking down the timelines on why he's not a natty and how Hussein stated that he wishes he started at 17 because he knows how long the fitness journey is going to take to make all these gains, yada, yada, yada. At the end of the day, he's not natural, and that's that. And obviously, of course, Greg Doucette makes a video right away to discuss the whole topic. Now, I'm not going to really get into who said what and what did Hussein say back. I am going to tell you from my personal experience training with Hussein. We are coming up with a training video. It will be dripping with tons of knowledge about being natty, being enhanced, and I've seen him in person and I've trained with him. And I am going to tell you how I know that he is an actual natural bodybuilder.
I'm back.
First things first, when we were in the locker room, Hussein takes his sweater off and I take a look at his skin. One of the most prominent things that you will see with most people that use anabolic steroids. Now, obviously, there are exceptions. I'm not saying this is common with everyone. I'm not saying it has to be like this, but more often than not, and this is coming from someone who I have great Egyptian skin, I don't get acne from anabolic steroids. You have to put in mind that, okay, well, Hussein is Lebanese. He also might not have that gene or those receptors where his estrogen is going to go up and he's going to get all these acne side effects. But I mean, to some extent, like a little bit in my back, you would see a tiny, like a few pimples here and there. And they're usually darker. They're not really red pimples. They're not filled with pus, but they're usually darker pimples, and they are a side effect of the use of anabolic steroids. But at the minimum, at least like one or two, few on the rear delts and lats. When I saw Hussein's skin, the first thing I said, I was like, yeah, that is the first green flag. Not only does he not have like zero acne, I mean, what I've seen from his physique and upper body and arms and shoulders and back, not one pimple. And it is almost impossible to be taking testosterone, not have like at least a couple pop here and there from the estrogen. It's inevitable. Even if you're on AIs or aromatase inhibitors, you will still somewhat see some of that a little bit. But that's the first thing about his skin. The second thing also about his skin is not the fact that there are no pimples at all or there's a lack of acne, but also the lack of hair. Now, Hussein is an Arab, all right? We are hairy people. For some reason, God decided to put us in the hottest country, and for shits and giggles, he said, you know what? Let's make him really hairy.
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
I'm hairy. My dad's hairy. I don't have a lot of hair on my back. I do have because of testosterone use. But I mean, my dad, my brother, we don't have hair on their back. But before I started anabolic steroids, so at the age of like 22, 23, this is a picture of 22, 23 when I was a natural, by the way. I did have hair on my chest, my beard as well, a little bit on my shoulders, my neck, even at least. This guy is as hairless as an Asian. Chinese specifically, because those are the hairless ones. I think. I don't know. One of them, all right, it's the Koreans. I think it's the Koreans that don't have hair.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
It's the ones without hair. That's what he reminded me of. And not to sound weird, but yeah, super good skin, no hair. And that is the first or two first green flags that he's not on anabolic steroids. Second evidence, his voice. It's not that deep. Usually, and yeah, when you are on anabolic steroids, your voice does deepen a little bit. I'm not sure if my voice is deepened or not. I mean, I am right now on a cycle leading up to my contest in 2 weeks. So I am on testosterone. I don't know if my voice is generally deeper than usual. I can tell you though, when I was prepping back in 212 and I was on around 1,200 milligrams of testosterone a week, my voice was probably deeper. And when I started anabolic steroids at the age of 24, my voice got deeper. And I've had already hit puberty. I was, done. Hussein doesn't have that. He doesn't have that deep voice that you can tell is a side effect from steroid use.
I saw that he just mentioned Derek for more plates, more dates. He said that he...
So that's number 2. Number 3, when you look at him in real life. Now, Hussein looks great in real life and on Instagram, but looks better on Instagram. Hussein, I love you, but let's be honest, you filter your photos. Some of the photos that Hussein puts on heavily filtered with the structure, the contrast, and that's fine. At least he doesn't Photoshop them like a lot of people do. So as long as it's within the lines of lighting, a little bit of contrast and all that, structure, maybe a bit too much, you're gonna look that much better. But make no mistake, in real life, when I met him, he was very impressive, but impressive in the lines of a natural. And I've been doing this for 20 years. And this leads me to the 4th point. It would be in my best interest to call out Hussein as a fake natty. I'd get more views. My channel would blow up. A lot of you more would probably subscribe to my little channel, and I'd get more traffic. And because also, I'm an Arab, so there's this, people would think oh, they have each other's back. No, it's more like we probably are in competition, right? Because in my head, or at least back in the Middle East when I was living in Egypt, I was one of the best natties before I started juicing. I was one of the best natties. And now here comes this guy, he's 22 years old, only been training for 3 years, and looks incredible. When I saw him in person, especially when he took the shirt off and I saw his chest. But here's the thing, because I'm an Arab, I know those genetics. I recognize them. Yeah, that's our barrel chest genes. We have the barrel chest. He has it. And it's in his front delts as well. It's that whole upper area. It's genetic. And as much as I would like to say that he's not a natural, when I saw his physique, it was very impressive, but still within the natural lines or within the natural limits. I have nothing to gain, absolutely nothing to gain from saying all this. Point number 5. This is a weird one, the smell. So anabolic steroids have a scent, and they will come out in your sweat, believe it or not. Testosterone enanthate has a particular smell. Equipoise, which is a different anabolic steroid, which is maybe the side effects are a little less androgenic than testosterone, but it has a very significant scent. And usually the sweat is more pungent, and you sweat a little more than usual. I'm the type that doesn't really sweat. When I'm on a cycle, I do sweat. When I'm on TRT, I don't. Back when I was a natty, I never sweated. Didn't see a drop of sweat from Hussein throughout our whole workout. Absolutely nothing. There was nothing there. And I even mentioned it. You don't sweat, do you? And he said, no, I don't. And again, that was another green flag. I'm yeah, this guy's not on anything. When I started my first cycle, I was sweating like a pig, man. I was sweating way more than than I usually sweat now in my workouts. Again, that was another thing that was another check mark. No sweat whatsoever. Point number 6. His strength wasn't all that great. We did a chest workout and my lifts were way heavier. Now, mind you, I did do a video with Justin Lee, who's a natural power lifter. And Justin, we were toe to toe with weights. In fact, even on the free bench press, he pressed more than I did. But Hussein was I was literally pushing twice is a lot. 2x. Not 30% more, 20% more, 40, twice. 100% more. If he was doing 3 on the incline, I was doing 6. With the reverse delts, he was comfortable with the 30 dumbbells. I was comfortable with the 60s. So there is a significant gap in the power. And usually on your first cycle, you do see those strength gains immediately. Within weeks. They're there. And that brings me to my final point, point 8, the personality. Usually, especially younger guys when they're on test, I'm not going to say they're more aggressive, right? Because if you're collabing with another guy older than you, obviously there's that respect and you're going to be a nice guy. But, and there's a big but, usually younger guys on test have a little bit of a spice in their personalities. There's a little bit of a kind of a small kind of spark in terms of confidence. I'm not saying he wasn't confident. I'm saying he's a very confident kid, but he was very humble at the same time, very respectful, always complimenting. And for someone as successful as he is, if he was on juice, guarantee you there would have been a little more of that spark, that cockiness, overconfident. It would have been there. And for those 8 reasons, unfortunately, for all of us, I'm here to tell you that he is a natural lifter. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my channel for coaching. The link is in the description box. One-on-one coaching. It's cheaper than most. And if you can't afford that, you can just buy a single one-time program. The link is also in the description box and in the comments. Please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you on the next episode.